If you want to launch a challenge for your audience, don't do it using Facebook. We recently published a blog post about this, and it got me thinking that, I really got to make a video about this too because I can't let other entrepreneurs go through the struggle of trying to create and manage an online challenge using Facebook. So in this video, I'm going to explain 4 reasons why it's not a great idea to use Facebook to create your online challenge and what you should be using to create it instead. If you want to see more videos like this one helping you grow your online knowledge business, please click like and subscribe below. Hey everyone, I'm Brian McAnulty. I'm the founder of Heights Platform, the online course creation software that helps creators like you monetize your knowledge and get your customers results. Before I get into the 4 reasons why you shouldn't use Facebook to create your online challenge, I want to cover why would somebody even decide or consider using Facebook for their online challenge in the first place. So the idea of creating a challenge for your audience has become really popular recently because it's a great tool to work as a lead magnet and help you acquire customers. So compared to a download or an online course or something else that you might offer for free, if people give you their email, something like that, an online challenge has these built-in benefits of having urgency, having this social element and accountability, and putting those things together really helps your potential customers engage with that challenge because for a short period of time, everyone's going through it together and everyone is completing these steps that's going to take them to a result. So a lot of creators will say, okay, I'm going to use Facebook to do this. I'll use a Facebook group. We'll post the challenge and everyone in the group is going to go through the challenge with the posts I make every day. So now that you understand the overall concept, I'm going to explain why that is not the best way to do it and what is a better way to run your challenge. Okay, so reason number 1 why Facebook is not a great place to run your online challenge is there are tons of distractions. So think about the last time you went on Facebook. For me, I don't even use Facebook that often, but I'll have to go on there. I'll have something that I have to check for some reason. And 5 minutes later, I'm sitting there wondering, why am I here? What am I doing here? And I completely forgot because Facebook is designed to have this content there that's going to keep you entertained and scrolling through so they can show you more ads. Now, that is not designed for somebody to actually learn something and pay attention to a specific particular thing that they're supposed to be focusing on, especially multiple days in a row. And the problem with that is if you're trying to create a challenge and actually guide people with something using Facebook, you're going to be at the mercy of Facebook's algorithm. So even if you get people in your group, you tell them, hey, make sure you're engaging with the group so the algorithm's going to show you the post more often. You can't really rely on that working. And you can't really rely on the fact that you need to show these group members the new content every single day. So it's really hard to have to base such an important part of your business on something where at any time Facebook might say, oh, you know what? I'm not really going to have these posts for your group members. I'm not going to show them that anymore. I'm going to show them this other thing because it seems like they stay on Facebook longer if we show them that. Reason number 2 why you shouldn't use Facebook for your online challenge is that it's harder to upsell your potential product that you have to offer your audience. So generally the purpose of running this online challenge is that you're using it as a lead magnet, as a tool to build up an audience, and ideally they're going to purchase a product from you at the end. And it's harder to do that on Facebook because you're asking everyone not only to show up on Facebook for the challenge, but then you're asking them to leave Facebook and purchase something from you. So there's a lot of steps that people have to take that, yes, your most engaged audience, they will go through those hoops and hopefully make that purchase. But you can't expect everyone to go through that because the process is not really easy for them. Even if you say, well, okay, I'm worried about Facebook and the algorithm that I mentioned in point 1, then you have your email tool. Your email then sends them an email if they're on the list, and then they go to the Facebook group, and then from there, then they can go buy. But there's still too many steps, and it's hard to really guarantee a sale when that's really the goal of the challenge in the first place. Reason number 3, and it's kind of similar, but it's important that it's harder to recognize your brand when you're using Facebook. You're mixed in there with everything else on Facebook. So you don't really have a specific brand. It's harder to build something and offer this cohesive platform or experience to your customers because it's all just there on Facebook. And yeah, it's convenient that they have a Facebook account probably already, but they would probably think a lot higher of you as a creator if you were able to offer them a specific platform or place for them all to come together than just a free Facebook group. Reason number 4, and probably the most important reason of all, is that it's really hard work to manage creating a challenge on a tool like Facebook. Facebook is a social network, and it's not really designed in any way to provide any of the tools that a creator needs to build this concept of a challenge. Generally, when you create a challenge, it's going to be maybe a 5-day, 7-day, 30-day challenge. Generally, you're going to release content every single day for that. You want to have it scheduled, and you want to have it coming out at a specific consistent time so that everyone can go through that new content at the same time. And you want to have a way to notify everybody about that. And you could say, okay, well, there's some tools I can use in Facebook. I can kind of schedule things. But again, you're at the mercy of the algorithm of if people will actually see it. And even if they do see it, it's hard to actually make sure that they get notified from it. You could try to tag a few people, but it's hard to do that with a larger audience. And then the whole problem becomes, let's say that you run it on Facebook, let's say that you're successful with it and it all goes well, but how do you repeat that and do it over again? Because it's this huge hassle to create all that content, schedule that content, make sure that people are really engaging with it, and then to say, okay, well, I want to do this next month. How do I get more students involved? How do I get more of my audience involved? And how do I manage like who did it before and who's doing it now? Because even if you do it once, how can you repeat that without maybe bothering the people who have already gone through it and don't want to see all those posts all over again? So if you wanted to recreate some of that content, now you've got to manually upload it all over again and go through the whole process. So even if you were successful with it on Facebook, it's going to be so much work that it's really going to discourage you from trying to go through it again. Okay, so I went over all the reasons of why Facebook is not the best tool to use to create an online challenge. But then what is? So I believe that we have a better solution. Our software, Heights Platform, is literally designed for creators to build challenges. Now, what does that mean exactly? First thing is when you're creating content for your challenge, you need a place where you can upload everything. You need a place where all of your students can be together and ideally interact. And now you want everything to be scheduled. So you want all of your lessons or your content for your challenge to be able to come out at the times that you want. And ideally, that should happen automatically. You shouldn't have to sit there every day and say, okay, now I'm making sure that I'm at my computer to launch that new content for the challenge. You want it to be coming out automatically for everyone who joined the challenge and is participating in it. And you want everyone to be notified when that content comes out. So with Heights Platform, not only will all of your lesson content be scheduled to come out at the appropriate times in your challenge, but each of your lessons can have an email set up where you have an email sequence that's automatically going to send whatever email content you've written to your student or your audience on the time that that challenge lesson releases. So it's all set up for you in one place. There's no juggling all these tools together to make it work. And you can charge money for the challenge even, something that's really difficult to do with a tool like Facebook, because even if you have someone pay you outside of Facebook and then you give them access to the group, it's hard to figure out, oh, is this the person that's asking to join the group? Is this the person that actually paid me? You can manage all of that, whether you want it to be free or paid. And then when you've done the challenge, the most important part is when you're successful with it, you can simply relaunch and restart the challenge. And all you have to do is set a new start date and click the button to relaunch and reschedule it. So it's super simple. Then when you do that, Heights Platform will automatically take that start date and say, okay, well, let's calculate the new launch date of all the different lesson content in the challenge. Let's calculate the new end date of the challenge. And then let's reset all those emails to be scheduled to be sent again. And then anyone who joins the challenge for this next wave is going to be able to go through it all over again. So no needing to manually upload content all over again, reschedule all of your stuff, set up your email software again. It's all in one place, in one tool where everything can happen for you. And you're providing a way better experience for your students because it's in a platform that's designed to help them learn. Now, I want to be clear that the goal of this video is not to sell you on our software. It's just to help encourage you to not run a challenge on Facebook because there's such a better way to do it. Now, if you don't want to use our software, that's fine. I'm not sure that there is really another tool out there that has those same features specifically built for running an online challenge like we do. But there's definitely better ways to do it, not only for your business, but for your customers as well. All right, so with that said, I'm curious if you've run a challenge before for your business and how did that go? So if you have, leave a comment below and let us know both what your challenge was, how it went, and what you would do differently if you were running that again. So I really believe that creators should spend most of their time working on their actual craft and what they do to actually create rather than spending this time juggling around these different tools in order to try to provide something to their audience. So I hope that this video at least helped you to think about that and think about how not only can you make things better for your audience and your customers, but make things better for your experience as a creator who's running a business as well. If you'd like to see more videos like this and more videos about how to create a challenge specifically, then check out this next video.